that we're saying is that now the universe collapses from infinite possibility to the choice you made. And every choice has a consequence. And once we have done that, it is not that you're being expelled from God's presence, even though the myth of Genesis renders it that way. What it is that you're no longer in that field that we talk about in meditation, the quantum field of all possibilities. Where you are going now is in the realm of choice. And now you have the power to choose. And this is how you create your life. You come from your parents, and your parents start complaining about disobedience, yes? It is just a matter of you growing up into a different phase where you want choice. And you know, I was in Costco the other day, and I saw a little boy who was, his father wanted to have him seated in the cart. And he was having none of it. He wanted out so he could start running around. Why? Because at a very early age, as a matter of fact, it is an inborn aspect of us that we want this freedom to reach out. Now, sometimes we don't quite know what we're going to do with the freedom, and we get ourselves in a lot of trouble. But without that freedom, without the good guidance of the parents, so that the child matures into where he or she can make good choices and make some mistakes, of course. If we don't do that, we will never become spiritually mature individuals. Maturity means your ability to collapse the field, the quantum field of all possibilities by selecting what it is that's important to you. And so it's all pure energy. That's why Einstein says E is equal to mc squared. Energy is equal to mass times a constant square, where the constant is the speed of light. And what he's saying, and we don't have to worry about the physics of it, but what we're saying is that energy can be converted into mass, and mass can be reconverted back into energy. So the things that you see around you are really nothing more than energy converted, captured in form. It's like capturing an angel, so to speak. And at some point, all these things will disintegrate. At some point. Maybe a long, long point, but at some point. So we should not be surprised that in a field of life that is created, that if we keep our attention focused on the negative, on what we don't want to happen, what do you think is happening? You're attracting what you don't want in your life. Because that's how the quantum field works. The thing becomes what you focus on. The quantum field doesn't have a preconception of what it can become. But your preconception of what you want in your life, which is what your prayer is about, brings that into your experience. You set up a tendency for that to come into your experience. You say, why is it that person's always getting into an accident? Why is it bad luck is always following that person? Is it luck? Or is it consciousness? And so we must come to a place where we understand that this life that we are living puts a lot of freedom in our consciousness, so much so that Genesis 1 says you're made in the image and likeness of God. What an immense idea that you can be made in the image and likeness of God. Why? Because you can co-create with God. And because you have that propensity, because you have that ability, because you have that resource and resourcefulness, you're also told to be fruitful and multiply. Because the consciousness, it's not that somebody is speaking to you as an individual. What you're getting is really an insight into the kind of consciousness that you have. You come with it. It's not like you needed much encouragement. Go back to the child in Costco or anywhere else. You see a child fighting his way out of the seat. of the cart, the shopping cart, to go and do what he wants to do or she wants to do. Why? Because we have this tendency to want to reach beyond our grasp. The grasp is your limitation. It's what you have already accepted. If you're going to grow from where you are to where you wish to be, then you have to open yourself up to greater possibilities. And so, energy. You can't waste your energy by thinking negatively about your possibilities. You have to focus your energy on what it is, positively, on what you think is possible for you. You know, when we have problems with people who seem to be keeping us back, you have two choices. You can focus your attention entirely on that person, or you can focus your attention on the fact that this is a learning experience for me. What can I learn from it? And move forward. When you do it that way, you do it positively. And you don't give that person an undue importance, a negative importance, like a dark cloud hanging over your head, in how you progress in your life, and how you proceed with your life. Besides energy in the universe has intelligence. You know, can you imagine this quantum something, this little packets of energy, this photon as they call it? Don't worry about all these names. It's just pure energy. But pure energy would be chaotic if we're not controlled by an infinite intelligence, because it is infinitely powerful. How can a thing that is infinitely powerful not be controlled by at least an equally infinite intelligence? Well, it can't be more infinite than something else. If it's infinite, yes? So God is what we call this infinite energy and intelligence. But how do we capture it? How do we get to it? I want to get into more detail later on. But we have to realize that the feeling that we have about life, or generalized feeling, is a cloak of limitation, or it's a cloak of possibilities. You can either lock yourself in tight, believing that the world is against you and everything is just going to threaten you, or you can put the cloak of possibilities to know, as Ernest Holmes says, wherever you go, you're going to meet friends. Good things are going to happen. When you step into a place, you bless the place. You have a good feeling about it. When you have a business, you bless the business. You bless the customers. You bless everything. And you begin to see from whatever source the universe chooses to bring it to you, the good that you desire. Because you're giving it out and it's returning back to you. The future of your life depends upon your choices. And your choices depend upon your feelings and your thoughts. Both of them. What do you spend your time thinking mostly about? When you go through your day, you should guard your mind. It is a sacred point in which the infinite mind communicates with you and give you interior guidance so that you know what to do, when to do it, where to do it, and how to do it. But if you just are randomly thinking all kinds of negative thoughts, if you don't have any focus to your life, you don't know where you're going, how are you going to know when you've arrived? How will you know where you are? But when you give your life some focus, when you begin to feel deeply into, why am I here? What is it I would like to accomplish before I leave this life? When you do that, all of a sudden your life begins to have a better sense of where you're going and how you're going. And that feeling is something that is playing a vital part. Now, one of the things that we must understand about life is that there is a certain level of uncertainty. I know we all like to be certain about life. But when you started off in college, you had no certainty about how it was going to turn out. And if you had a certainty about everything, your life probably would be extremely boring. Because it would be extremely predictable. And it's not, is it? And just because it's not certain, it doesn't mean it's bad. How many times have you been surprised at good things that have happened to you that you didn't expect? Yes? So one of the things you want to do is to expect unexpected good. Expect unexpected good. Begin to feel that the universe delights in giving you what is good and best for you. Or God, whichever name you choose to use, it doesn't really make much difference, as long as you're dealing with the same essence, the same sacred essence that I'm speaking about. It is really interesting that in hypnosis, we see some of this quantum knowledge in hypnosis, where somebody hypnotized who wanted to commit suicide. He had a business failure, and he thought his family was ashamed of him, and he thought the easiest way is to get rid of himself, and it would be just better for the family. Well, in the hypnosis, he was allowed to go forward in his life to see what would happen. And what he saw in the hypnosis was that it made it worse for all the people who loved him. It did make it better. And he got hypnotized again to look at another path in his life as if he's actually living it. One that he chose joy, one where he chose to confront difficulty. And as he went along, he realized that his friends and his family were happy to help him. And these feelings that this person had in hypnosis were as real to him as if he had lived them out. So what I'm saying to you is that this person came back, confronted his difficulty, and went through them and was able to do the good thing in his life. You should choose joy and goodness over sadness and depression. There is no reason for you to take the negative route. There are always two roads to be taken, as Robert Frost would remind us. But we must, as Moses tells us, I put before you this day, good and evil, right and wrong, life and death, that you and your descendants may live. So we're looking at the way we can live this life. And in the science of mind, we're saying that you can do it if you understand how to take the steps daily to do it. And so I'm going to end by giving you 7 steps that you can use to begin to experience your unlimited possibilities. The first one is meditate and pray. Meditate and pray regularly, like every day. Because what you're doing is you're setting your mind in that quantum field of all possibilities, in that saying where Jesus said, with God all things are possible. The praying now is beginning to collapse that field into particles, into the specific things that you want with your life. You're making choices, and you're willing to face up to the consequences of your choices. The second thing is to develop a sense of expectancy. Develop a sense of expectancy. Ernest Holmes says, expectancy speeds progress. Live in a continual state of expectancy. No matter how much good you are experiencing today, expect greater good tomorrow. Expect to meet new friends. Expect to meet new and wonderful experiences. And he says, try this magic. Try this magic. It's amazing how it can transform like magic. When you're doing life right, you're constantly surprised at good things coming into your life because you're expecting good things in your life. The third thing is to know you are creating a history. A history cannot be created until you make a choice. Your present moment gives you access to the immediate future by the choice you make. It is how the field collapses into the thing that you desire in your life. That's where you're going. Too many people are Well, I don't know what to do. Well, when you say you don't know what to do, remind yourself that there is a mind in me that knows what to do because it is absolutely intelligent. It is God's mind, and it's the mind I am using right now. So create a history by understanding where you want to go. The fourth thing is change your attitude. Change your attitude. I go back quite often to William James's. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitude. Attitude involves thought and feeling. Thought and feeling. Not just feeling, but thought and feeling. You must look at how you're feeling about things, particularly negative things as they come into your life daily. And if you are willing to make that change in the game, to do what Jesus did when he said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." Get thee behind me negative thinking, negative feeling, depression, a feeling that I need to be resentful, a feeling that I need revenge. If you can get those things behind you, then the path is open up for all the energy that you have. You don't have enough energy to split it between a whole bunch of negative things happening in this life and the things that you would like to have happen in this life. You won't live long enough to have that much energy. So why are you wasting your time and energy with the things that don't really matter? The things that you can change, those are the things that you should be working on. The fifth thing is to grow your faith daily. One of the wonderful things I watch Cecile do at home is to grow her plants. And sometimes you see a little plant that you think should really just go in the trash can. And it doesn't go in the trash can. She put it out there, and before you know it, the darn thing is blooming and flowering and doing stuff that, saying, "Hi, Arthur, I'm over here." That kind of thing. Your faith is like a seed. And it's not something you should take for granted. Your faith is your connection to the source, to the infinite source. It is how you come into a sense that it is the Father's good pleasure to give me the kingdom and mine to accept it. And so you should grow your faith. Take a challenge, just like a muscle, When it's not being like a seed, it's like a muscle. Those of you who never do any weightlifting at all, you'll find that your strength will only remain around where it is. But if you take the time to start doing a little weightlifting and a little more workout, all of a sudden your body can do things you never thought it could do. You can lift things you never thought you could lift. Well, your faith is no different. It is the workout, it's your spiritual gym workout that you need to take every day. A workout in faith. Look at it like that and you will find the difference. The sixth thing is to be persistent. Persistent. Some people want to just say, "Okay, I have already prayed, I let God. And then you go about doing nothing, absolutely nothing. Or doing things that make no difference. I think Calvin Coolidge, wonderful saying that you're all familiar with, about being persistent. He says, "Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent, are all-powerful. If you want to be powerful, if you want to be focused, you've got to focus your energy and time where it matters. Too many of us, if you look at your day that you pass by and see what you've done that were meaningful to what you say you want to do, you'll find that you've wasted a lot of your time. The less time you can waste and the more time you can dedicate to what it is you're about, the more transformation you will see in your life. The final thing is to take action. Number 7. Take action. Too many of us are too intimidated with just thinking and not doing. I am one of these that every year around this time, I don't like to do all that income tax preparation that I need to do. I admit it, I don't like to do it. But this year, I said, no more. And I got on that computer very early, and I start putting in the figures. And you know what? It's all about taking action. The only reason it feels so overwhelming to me every year is because I keep putting it off because I don't want to do it. Hey, grow up, I tell myself. Do what you have to do, and do it soon, rather than late. When you do it late, it's twice as bad as when, as you can imagine it would be. So let me end with Ernest Holmes here in what he says about action. Ernest Holmes says, it would not be normal to spend one's whole lifetime meditating and praying. This belief comes from the mistaken idea to separate oneself from the world in which one lives. Meditation should stimulate the intellect to renewed and greater objective action. It should stimulate you to do something, not just sit like you're a mystic on a mountain and you take yourself away from society, but somebody who's participating in community. Do something. He says, thus we should swing from prayer to performance. From prayer to performance. From meditation to action. From contemplation to accomplishment. My friends, the world is filled with infinite possibilities for you. But it's only you can claim it. And you can't claim it all because no one can. You don't have to claim it all. What you have to do is to claim what is important in your vision of life. And once you do it, you will find that this world of infinite possibilities will constantly be there, and it will transform the life you're living. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, this is our sharing time. And I'm going to invite you to stand so we can sing the Dot Supper.